Tether is sticking to its decision not to bar Tornado Cash addresses, noting it has not yet been contacted by U.S. authorities with any such requests. This comes as alleged Tornado Cash developer Alexey Pertsev must stay in jail for at least another 3 months. Joining us now with more is CoinDesk's very own regulatory reporter, Jack Schickler, who has been watching the trial very closely. All right. Great to have you join us for the first time, Jack. So tell us, why was Alexey Pertsev arrested in the first place?
Well, we don't have a huge amount of information to go on because no formal charges have been levied against Alexey. But what the Dutch anti-money laundering authorities said is that he is suspected of involvement in concealing criminal financial flows through the use of this Tornado Cash service, which can be used to enhance privacy online and has both legitimate and perhaps less legitimate applications. The Dutch public prosecutor made that a bit clearer today. They said, we believe we have a suspicion that he, along with others, allowed the origin, destination, and ownership of more than €1 billion, that's about $1 billion, worth of criminally obtained cryptocurrencies to be disguised. But if you look closely at that, all it's saying is he allowed those facts to be disguised. So it may just be that the suspicion is that he created a protocol which other people have then used to launder money. And there's a real question in the crypto community about is someone really responsible for code that they develop that other people choose to use in a certain way?
Yeah, definitely a contentious issue. Now his wife is dismissing speculation that her husband had links to the Russian Secret Service. What can you tell us about that?
Right, so things have taken a slightly spicier turn. Pertsev remains in jail because he's still waiting for a trial to happen, and under the Dutch legal system, that can take up to 3 months. But there were allegations published in a blog by a security analyst, Caron, yesterday, saying that a company that Pertsev used to work for has links to the Russian Secret Service, the FSB, and was actually itself sanctioned by the US Treasury a number of years ago after he worked there. It's not quite clear, the nature of that allegation. It may just be that the guy was unlucky. You're working in cybersecurity in Russia. One company you work for happens to have had some dodgy links. But we've had a very fulsome rebuttal from his wife today, saying that Alexey Pertsev has never been associated with the FSB in Russia or with similar organizations. And she added, we moved to the Netherlands in the hope of a quiet, stable and free life, which is unimaginable in military Russia. So that sounds like a pretty strong rebuttal of the idea that he has any links to Russian spies, and not remotely any kind of endorsement of the Putin regime either.
Yeah, we just saw images of people demonstrating against Pertsev's imprisonment. So what kind of impact is this having on the Web3 community in Europe?
Well, like I say, people were pretty quick to protest about this arrest because from what it seems like, someone has been arrested for writing open source code. And if you're in this web development community, that's pretty worrying, right? Open source code is used a lot in crypto, not just in crypto, also in other areas of the internet, like Linux operating system. So there's a real question that if you produce some code, you put it out there online, you don't really know how other people will use that code, change that code, what applications they'll find for it. And then years later, maybe the police come along and say, actually, we're going to hold you responsible for having written this code. So there's a whole chilling effect on the whole web development ecosystem. And until we have some more clarity about exactly what is going on in this case, that chilling effect is going to remain, and it's going to have a really negative consequence on the Netherlands, but also more widely about what exactly are you responsible for when you're in this sector.